what we're going to do here is I'm going to be a distraction for this dog. I'm just going to squeak a little toy. Dog's going to get a little bit fixated on me, and Brianna is going to redirect him. Now she's going to attempt to get his attention with maybe just his name and maybe a little bit of a tug on the leash lightly first. If he redirects, he gets rewarded. If he doesn't redirect, he might get corrected into the redirect, but then we still reward them at the end of that, even though they got corrected, like, hey, don't do that. When they redirect, we always produce reward. Now we're going to do food, and then we're also going to do a tug representation as well. So now they're going to start moving my way. I'm just going to squeak. Very nice, and she just kind of redirects him, goes into a little bit of a food game, and you can even carry it on longer, right? Especially if he was hesitant about that decision. Don't just give him a piece of food and stop. You want to reward him, maybe let him chase you a little bit more for another piece, and make it a fun game and a rewarding moment, not just an isolated piece of food by itself, because that won't work for a lot of dogs. All right, we're going to do it again. Very good. Very good. Now, this next time that he gets a little bit distracted and fixated, I'm not going to stop squeaking. I'm just going to keep going. Very good, right? So he likes the game, he's food motivated, so he's making the choice to stay with Brianna rather than be committed to trying to come for the squeaky toy over here. Right, and this is a redirect. And you might have to do a lot of this with a dog for a period of time until they understand to kind of stick with you, or to at least know how to redirect when you ask them to. Because maybe not every dog is going to like be perfect walking, paying attention to you all the time. But if they do know how to redirect into you when they get a little bit overly distracted, that's really helpful. I'm going to squeak again. I'm also going to wave a flirty toy around, so it's going to be a little bit extra enticing, right? Because it looks a little bit more playful to him over here. Right, so it was more enticing because I'm waving a little stuffy toy around, so that got his attention as well as I'm squeaking, and he really likes to play. So that kind of sucked him in a little bit more than the other reps. And when he finally redirected, he had no idea that play was possible with Brianna, and he got to play a little mini game of tug. And she's going to go back to walking him, and we'll kind of bounce back into this again. See how the difference there? So she just had to say his name this time, whereas last time she actually had to give him a couple corrections with the leash in order to get his attention. But now he redirected with his name, like, ooh, it's definitely possible to get a reward from you. It just happened. And we want to create a believer in that. And over time, obviously we don't necessarily have to take a tug on every walk forever or every time we're outside, but if the dog needs that in order to get trained through those moments, you use that motivation that you have. Very good. Good stuff. About all of that footage right there is that Brianna is not waving a toy in the dog's face to get their attention or waving food in their face to get their attention. She's using her communication skills to redirect the dog, marking the moment with a big yes. Right, so as soon as the dog redirects and looks towards her, she's like, yes, meaning you earned a reward. She pops the reward out, whether it's food or a toy, and produces that reward event for the dog. So with the food, she had Silas chase a good bit. With the toy, she played a little bit of tug, and that's the bigger picture. There is that you're not trying to like use the toy to pull the dog away, right? You're trying to get them to respond to their communication skills that they're learning in order to get a reward, because if they're looking that way, they're seeking reward, but they're seeking reward elsewhere. What you're trying to teach them is like that if you ask for their attention, they can get reward from you, but they just have to do it for you. So remember, don't wave a toy in front of their face or try and lure them with a piece of food in order to get them to spin their head around. It's get their attention, mark and reward, and have a celebration with it, not just a single piece of food, and don't just like give them the toy and expect them to have fun with it, right? Because a lot of times they'll just spit the toy out and turn right back around, or they'll get the piece of food and turn right back around. Make it an event.